To everyone who liked my quick and easy focaccia video, you're going to love this tomato and pesto one even more. It is so insanely good with such a nice texture. Look at that. As always, you start with 2 cups of warm water, 2 teaspoons of yeast, that is active yeast for everyone asking, 2 teaspoons of white sugar, give that a mix and then cover it for about 10 minutes to let it activate. Then you're going to mix in 4 cups of plain white flour. I use high grade, doesn't matter too much. Also 2 teaspoons of heaped flaky salt or just normal salt. I forgot to mix it in, so I'm mixing it in here. It doesn't really matter, but it's easier when you do it with the flour. Give it all a good mix, it will turn sticky. I like to put some olive oil on the sides of the bowl. As you can see, it cleans it up nicely and keeps it from sticking to the sides of the bowl. I then cover it with a tea towel and let it rise for about an hour. It does not need to rise overnight at all. It can even rise just for that hour and then you can pop it in the pan. I like to just give it a nice fold on top of itself a little bit and then rise it for about another half an hour or an hour. Because it's warm here in New Zealand, I just let it rise at room temperature or I'll put it in the hot airing cupboard. I covered it with Glad wrap this time just so it's a little less messy, or for the Americans, plastic wrap I think you guys call it, and this is it after another hour. Look how great that texture is, all those air bubbles inside. In my previous video I used a 9x9 or 23 centimeter pan, but I actually chose to use a 12x9 one this time, and it's actually much higher as well because the dough just rises so much that like I know it would fit. And I put baking paper this time because it's way better, or parchment paper for you American peeps. I put some olive oil at the bottom and then just put that dough straight in there. I don't fold it when it's like risen for the second time so it stays nice and airy. I then try spread it evenly to each corner and then just cover it with some Glad wrap again, just for about 20 minutes. Now this time I'm using pesto. I have this pesto that needs to be used, but it's very salty and rich, so I took some and then added the juice of a lemon to cut the saltiness, which also helps thin it out a little bit so it's easier to put on top of the dough. And to everyone asking about the garlic mincer, my mum got it from Temu, but for the sake of this I'm going to be using this fine grater just because it's going in a sauce this time. I used about 5 or 6 garlic cloves and gave that a good mix. Then after letting the dough rise for a little bit longer, I drizzle some olive oil on top and then dimple it in as well. I then popped that pesto sauce just right on top. There's no pretty way to do it. I just dolloped it on and then I dimpled it in a little bit just to kind of let it disperse evenly. I then added a few sliced cherry tomatoes on top just to give it some color and a bit of sweetness to the saltiness. It goes into the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes or till it's golden at 200 degrees or 392 Fahrenheit. And this came out so perfect and crispy, especially using the baking paper on the side. It left it really crispy on the edges. It tasted so good. I also didn't put any salt on top because it already had the pesto. It didn't need it. Here's a shot without the light so you can see all those bubbles. The texture of this is so unmatched and so good. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you guys make this or if you want me to do any other focaccia flavors or cook anything else.